I was a teenager, I went on holiday with my best friend to Mozambique. His family was big into deep sea fishing, and I'd never been deep sea fishing. So the morning came and we went out, first light. And we were about 20 sea miles out. That's when the rest of land, when you look back, is about this small. There was a squall behind us, like a big black cloud, lightning, all the things you see in movies. And they looked at this thing, and I asked him, listen, that thing is moving and we have to go through that thing before we can go home. He said, no, it's okay, it's just a small storm, don't worry. And I thought, okay. And we went through the storm, and I was relaxed because he said it's just a small storm. At the end of the day, when we came to land, he said, no, it was actually a huge storm, and we had about an 8% chance of living because there was a cyclone close to Mozambique where we were, and that affected the ocean. But that day I was spared. I didn't know I was spared, but once I got on land, he told me because he didn't want me to panic. I am pretty sure that you have memories or spaces or stages in your life you can remember that you can be thankful that you were spared, that the worst didn't happen. Your biggest fears were not realized. I believe that space is a space for expressing thankfulness to God, and then in that thankfulness celebrating the power of God in our lives. Because ultimately, the person or the being that oversees our lives, that calls himself our Father, the Shepherd, is the one that protects us. And when we remember those things, when we are grateful for those close shaves that could have gone the other way, we are celebrating a part of God's power in our lives. When Jacob is in this random space, he encounters God, he sets up an altar, he does one more thing. He changes the name of the place he encountered God. In Genesis 28 verse 19 it reads, he called the name of that place Bethel. But the name of the city had been Luz at first. Now you might be wondering, what's in the name? Well, in short, Luz means nowhere in particular, and Bethel means house of God. Jacob's encounter with God and his thankfulness for that encounter meant a name change for that space he was in. I believe God calls us to be name changers of spaces we live in, so that our communities won't be the normal space like Luz, but be a form of Bethel where God resides. May you take a moment today and think about the spaces and how you relate to them in your community, in your home, in your neighborhood, and the opportunities you have to put another name on that space for the glory of God, and to take that space and prove that God is powerful beyond anything that we can imagine.